Cancel my comment at all time. Touch glove if you want. Back your corner.
Christine Hallower.
Right, judge, time. Ready, fight!
McLaren against Striegl is brought to you by City of Dreams. They touch gloves. It's a cautious start from Striegl, just looking to get a gauge on the distance, but then he goes for the legs. It's a vicious attack.
McLaren doing a decent job of stopping the takedown so far, but gets dragged to the ground, but pops right back up.
A high level of intensity in this attack from Striegl.
Yeah, McLaren's trying to prove that he belongs. Now, he did take this fight on very short notice when originally Striegl's original opponent popped out late with an injury, and he had to, Reece McLaren jumped in on short notice to take this fight. You know, and when you take a fight on short notice like that, it can, you know, Striegl's been preparing for one style of fighter for a very long time. You know, he's had a full camp devoted to one style of fighting, and now you immediately get to, you know, change the style in a completely new fighter. But, and, you know, Reece McLaren might not have the opportunity to prepare as much, but when you don't prepare as much, you don't overthink the situation.
Difficulties for both men,
yeah,
effectively.
you just jump right in and you go. So it's actually, if you're in shape, you know, and you take the fight on short notice, it can work to your advantage as well. So there's disadvantages and advantages to taking a fight on short notice. You can see McLaren's got that leg trapped kind of right there in that lockdown position, which is a form of a...
Yeah, Striegl's left leg a little immobilized there.
Hard time getting it down. If you can just slide in, he's just stuck in half guard, flattening McLaren out onto his back.
Any foreseeable advantage, though, for Striegl there? What can he work towards from here? Oh, as he gets his...
Well, in the half guard, you still have submissions. Like, you can still threaten Kimuras, you know, different locks from that position. Which Kimuras a shoulder lock. But from right now, it's pretty much a 50-50 game. The submissions are going to be coming from the guy on the bottom. The ground and pound is going to be coming from the guy on top.
Sharp elbow from McLaren on the top of Striegl's head.
This is where Striegl excels. He grinds on his opponents. He puts them onto the mat and wears them down and eventually works for the submission. And his favorite submission has been that rear naked choke as of late. He's got 8 rear naked choke submissions.
8 rear naked choke submissions on his record. He's so strong in the upper body there, those shoulders and that chest, tiny waist he's got.
McLaren does a good job of getting back up to his feet.
Striegl had his hands up there, protecting himself from that big kick.
Nice inside leg kick. Striegl trying to show some of that Muay Thai he's been working on so hard. He really wants his first knockout to be here in Manila.
Doesn't have much backlift to his kicks, Striegl. He just sends them out there, so that means they're not telegraphed. They may lack something in power as a result, but he's quick.
Striegl looks like he's a whole weight class heavier than McLaren.
He does put on a lot of weight between the weigh-in and the fight. Right hand there from McLaren.
Striegl trying to egg him on, and he kind of gets caught with a flying knee. But
he caught a flying knee there, didn't he?
Grabs the legs, takes McLaren down to the ground. McLaren is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt who's won multiple grappling championships, so he is no stranger to being on the ground. Works his way back up to his feet. Good defense on that. He slides. See how he pops his arm in there?
Oh, just into the final minute there.
Looks like Striegl's tried to throw an elbow and just kind of lost his footing a little bit on that exchange.
Much traveled Mark Striegl, now living in Singapore, working with Evolve MMA. One of the few men in Asian mixed martial arts to really make a name for himself before he even came to one championship.
Striegl spent a long time fighting at the weight class above him at featherweight. So he's now coming down to a brand new weight class in bantamweight, and he's doing really well at it.
It looks like he carries that weight supremely well.
But also he has to cut a lot more weight, Steve.
Yeah.
And that extra, 4 kilos or so is a big difference maker when it comes to the later rounds of this fight.
Well, Reece McLaren trying to get the fans behind him. That'll be a tough task because Striegl's a popular man here.
See, there's that flying knee
Yeah,
that
and he did
caught
catch it.
Striegl,
He
but
did
he
catch
caught
him.
him in the process and puts him down onto the ground. And McLaren does a good job of defending some of the takedowns. Let's jump to Rich Franklin and see how he has it so far.
At this point in time, I got Striegl ahead on the scorecards. He came out a bit more aggressive, and that's why he was able to land the takedowns. I scored him slightly on ground control, even though he wasn't able to really attempt any submissions or pass guard effectively or land decent ground and pound. But these guys are basically neck and neck at the striking game. It's pretty much back and forth. One guy's landing an inside leg kick and the other was landing an outside leg kick. But based on all the categories and working up, I would give the decision to Striegl at this point in the fight.
Back.
5 minutes gone, 10 to go. The judges will score this fight based on its entirety, not round by round.
Fight!
Michael McLaren's landing some of these leg kicks. And that's going to slow down that shot that Striegl so effectively uses in that double leg takedown. He likes to blitz in on people. If he can wear down that lead leg of Striegl's, he's going to have a hard time shooting. He lands another one right there.
Threw in a right and a left there, McLaren, but Striegl just moves his head out of range, so even if he does get caught, a lot of the power is removed.
That's the 5th leg kick that he's landed, Steve. That's going to wear down Striegl's explosive ability.
There was some redness on the outside of Striegl's right leg. Testament to, there's another one.
It's kind of southpaw versus southpaw here, which is a unique situation in a lot of cases. You don't get a spar a lot of times with the southpaw as Striegl spins him around into a double leg takedown. McLaren does a good job of popping back up, though.
Puts everything into these double leg attempts, doesn't he, Striegl?
There's a headlock attempt that Reece kind of shook off, and now it has the back of Striegl. Striegl's going to try to roll, possibly.
Just shaking their arm down, taking a moment's breath. Minute and a half gone in the second round. We're at the Mall of Asia Arena. This is One Championship, Spirit of Champions.
See another leg, and Striegl's just taking it. He's eating it on that right leg there. There's another one.
See the redness there on Striegl's thigh.
And Striegl just smiles at him and takes it. This is a huge step up in competition for Reece McLaren. He knows this is Hopper's opportunity. He took the fight on short notice, and he's trying to make the most of it possible. But I like how he's switching back and forth in stances. Now he's fighting out of orthodox again.
Now that last kick actually made Striegl's right leg buckle a little bit. It's starting to tell. They're both connected with punches there. Striegl's landed the heaviest, and he followed up with the technical ground kick.
He completely stunned McLaren, and McLaren was shocked as he dropped to the canvas.
I thought it was over for a second there, but
I think Striegl thought so too, as he kind of stopped and paused. He thought he had a walk-off knockout, and he just kind of stopped, and if he would have jumped in a little bit sooner, he's trying to threaten the possible Kimura here. You can see how he's locked in that arms. Now he's got the Kimura grip. He's a bad position for McLaren.
Recognize it too. He's scooting around to try it. Yeah, he's managed it, but the technical ground kick comes in and he gets up as quickly as he can, and everybody appreciates that effort.
McLaren jumps right back in with a combination as Striegl looks up at the clock.
The writing was on the wall for a moment there for Reece McLaren, and full credit to him for getting back up onto his feet. And Striegl found that a little bit tough. He's breathing hard now. You can't really blame him, but he'll get points for his aggression and for what he managed to achieve. Meanwhile, that right leg continues to get a pummeling. Again, it buckled, and again.
Striegl looks exhausted. He's just taking these shots on the leg. Look at the welts that are building up on the side of Striegl's leg.
I talked about the intensity at various times that Mark Striegl showed, particularly at the beginning of both rounds when he goes for the double leg takedown. But now that he's a little bit gassed and that leg must be struggling a little bit, that intensity seems to have gone.
If McLaren can kind of turn it on a little bit, he's just being very tentative, but he's landing significant shots. He might be a little bit timid to kind of shoot in because he got dropped the last time he tried it.
Can't wait to get to Rich Franklin's opinion on how this should be scored at this point, but I fancy Reece McLaren can take a little bit of confidence away from the end of this round, despite perhaps being on the receiving end overall. Either way, Striegl's right leg will be very happy to take a break in 20 seconds time.
See, you would think that, but actually if he sits down on that chair, the legs are gonna kind of get cold a little bit, and you don't want to do that because when you get up off that chair, it hurts.
He's struggling with that leg. It's a constant target for McLaren, and you can see the way Mark puts his right leg down that it's hurting him a bit.
If he would fake to, there he goes to the head. I was just gonna say, if he fakes to the leg and goes to the head.
Well, Reece McLaren came in a tad after the bell there and got a bit of a stare from Striegl.
There he is, Striegl shooting in for that double leg takedown that he does so beautifully. But here's that stop, boom, with the elbow. Catches McLaren right onto the chin, goes in for the technical ground kick, but McLaren guts it out. Here's kind of a stand-up Kimura, which looks kind of weird, but then there's a technical ground kick to follow it up. And he lets him up. Let's go jump to Rich Franklin, see how he has it.
But I tell you what, this is where I'm glad I'm actually just a TV judge, not one of the real judges. Look, I think Striegl's still a bit more aggressive, but that's low on the totem pole here. He's winning on the actual takedowns and a little bit on the ground control, but McLaren's running away with the striking superiority. And I actually have him outscoring Striegl on damage due to the leg kicks at this point in time. Even though Striegl had that knockdown, it was kind of a flash knockdown, and he followed up with the kick. I don't think it was enough damage. So right now, if this fight was stopped, I would give the fight to McLaren.
That's fascinating because there's more red on the Striegl side, but the more significant work done is at the top of the chart. The categories that we give more credence to is at the top of the graphic you just saw. So the judges, as Rich said, have a tough time. And there's still 5 minutes to go. What a second round that was.
The final 5 minutes all come down to see who can pull the trigger and really push that pace. Who is the better conditioned athlete in the final round of this fight? Because this is really what it comes down to. How much pace can you put on your opponent and see if he can keep up with you? Ooh, nice little left hand there landed by McLaren as he sprawls out from the takedown. Oh, he jumps into a guillotine. That's deep. Look at him with his tongue out.
He's got his tongue out.
Striegl just pushes him off there.
There's a second attempt at it. No, he wriggles free. Still in trouble. The knee to the head at the same time. Taking all kinds of abuse, the Filipino. What a performance this is from the late stand-in Reece McLaren.
He took this fight on short notice, and he has proven that he belongs here. What a lot of people don't know is that Reece McLaren is half Filipino. His father is actually Filipino, and he's never met him. So this is his chance to get in touch with that national pride and really bring it to Manila.
I didn't know that. That's good information. If only the fans knew, they might well be supporting him a little bit more than they are now, because at the moment they are silent in sympathy for Mark Striegl.
There is something pushing this kid forward to take on a superstar like Mark Striegl and to be dominating this last stanza in that round. Here comes the ground and pound.
At the 5-minute mark, Striegl was ahead and there really wasn't much dispute. At the 10-minute mark, Rich Franklin has Reece McLaren in front. And now he's got 3 minutes to consolidate, and Striegl is taking punches to the head. He's defending fairly well, but a lot of those punches are getting through. His head cannons off the canvas.
Uh-oh, he slid the arm under the neck. This is a bad position for Striegl.
We did not expect this, and nor did the fans here at cage side.
Watch out, back of the head, watch out.
A warning about punches to the back of the head. So he has to make sure that those punches come underneath.
He's got to aim for the ear, but he has landed some brutal shots. He's got 2.5 minutes to work.
Striegle's in real trouble, but McLaren has to be careful about those back of the head shots. Now it's easier for him to hit the face. Striegle's covering up, and he's throwing nothing back, and he's in trouble, Mark Striegl.
Striegl is exhausted at this point. You can see the big gasping breath that he's trying to do. He has no strength left to push away and try to move. He is just getting pummeled here.
Under the armpit, 7, 8 consecutive punches flush in the face. Mark Striegl doing nothing to fight back. Olivier Costa's looking very carefully. He's asking Mark Striegl, what do you want to do? Do you want to fight some more? We may be near the end, 150 left in this final round.
Striegl's showing a big heart here. I think he's trying to pull the energy from this Manila crowd. Uh-oh, he's trying to get under the neck, but you can see that Striegl, he just lost the defense of that hand. Now he's in trouble.
Under the chin. Watch for the tap, and it comes.
What a finish!
Reece McLaren beats Mark Striegl in the Philippines. Improves his record to 8-3, pays his respect to his opponent, and it's fair to say that is a surprise. A late stand-in, a late replacement. Look, he stunned himself. Oh. What a performance from this 24-year-old. Let's get Rich Franklin's thoughts on a fight that did a 180 midway through the second round.
I'll tell you what, more stuff happened in that last 3 minutes of the fight than the first 10 minutes. I was sitting here with my scorecard, just like marking away with things. I couldn't hardly keep my eyes down yeah, it's just crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Olivier Costa calls a halt to this battle. At 3 minutes, 33 seconds of round number 3, for your winner, by submission, via rear naked choke, Reece "Lightning" McLaren!